maybe my brain is more fight orientated because like I was doing that in the last episode. I wasn't doing it in this episode. Like I enjoyed this more episode more than the other one.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah. I so enjoyed it more than the other one.
I definitely think I'm on the other side of the spectrum with that one. I think episode one was better.
I could tell. I could tell. You're definitely more negotiated reader.
Yeah, like so we talked about this. How do I put it? I'm not happy that certain things got cut.
I think that's what it is. I think I'm more of a scaler of Bleach, but I'm probably not as much as a fan of Bleach as you are because like I only really got into Bleach like a couple of years ago.
Hmm.
I haven't been that hardcore into it that I care about the source, every word of the source material.
No, like so.
Like to be honest,
Hmm.
with the Basby statement about like the Shikai, Basby stopping Shikai Yamamoto's flames, I care about it in terms of like scaling. I don't care about it in terms of like source material.
Yeah, by what I mean, I guess is I actually it's great that you said that because now I can kind of say what I mean. So like in the original anime, there was so much stuff that was censored. There was so much content that should have been there that wasn't. So to see like small things get cut out is weird. Like I was saying in the other VC, like it's literally the fact that the Thousand Year Blood War has already been cut short in the manga. Like we didn't get the full experience of what Kubo fully intended it to be. Like he got the ending he wanted, but the actual overall arc wasn't what he wanted. So for stuff to get cut or changed is weird to me. It's either adapt it or adapt it with extra stuff. If you're not going to give me extra content, don't cut content. So like Moreo not getting stabbed by BG9 and used as a hostage for Morechio to cuz like as much as I hate Omaida, that was a cool scene. Like his sister is being tortured and killed and he's like tell me where Soyphone is and he's like even if I did know I wouldn't tell you despite his sister the one person he probably cares about, being right there. To me, I'm like, why cut that? That doesn't make sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in
Yeah,
that.
I was upset by that as well. To be honest, nah, I was definitely upset. I was expecting Omega to like show some stuff, at least try and fight BG9. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. So the intro still just as entertaining. I guess let's start to do the structure like I normally do. We'll try to work our way from start to finish. But like, so the opening, has it lessened for anybody? Like, is it not as
I
strong
mean,
as it
the
was episode
opening's
one?
fun.
Hmm.
Did they change the opening? Usually, to be honest, I skip openings. But I mean, was there any different changes in the opening for this one?
No, it was the same. I was just wondering because I'm like, I didn't like the opening
Mm,
for Core 1 and then it just progressively got more annoying so I just skipped it. But this one like I don't mind listening to it.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's like good or amazing.
Mhm.
It's alright.
Um so then yeah, going into the episode
What about the opening scenes?
yeah, that's what we're about to say. So like I'm I'm curious like I don't I was just saying how much I do want added content, but like honestly I don't know if this was necessary. Like
The start of it, yeah, not really, but like it's interesting.
Like it gives a slight bit more characterization to Bambietta, which I like. I mean, I'm fine with that. I'll take anything. Um, but I don't know. It kind of just reiterated what we get from the Stern Ritter during their fights. Like we're not just trying to kill you guys; we're trying to crush you.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I like that aspect of it, but like they didn't need it there because like they could have added that scene more to other scenes, like the Ukotake scene or something like that,
Hmm.
which is literally just him doing Mimahagi.
Yeah, mm, so like and it looks great. Like it's the memes are perfect. The Jugrum panning out L's. It's great, but Um, it's pretty. I like it. I also do say I think we talked about this before from the trailer. I like that they're showing all of the Stern Ritter beforehand, so like no one can be like, "Oh wow, Yuhaba or this person pulled that out of their ass." Like, no, this was a character that was established beforehand. And then but yeah, it's definitely the opening sequence
Hello?
was kind of. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah, sorry.
Can you hear
It
me?
sounded like it was cutting out. Sorry.
Oh my bad. Yeah, I was just saying that like it's
Maybe it's just me.
yeah. You can try to I don't know, maybe log out and rejoin.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll be back.
Mhm.
I guess I'm gonna be the only pro person on this episode, even though I'm not. It's not gonna be my favorite. Like, it definitely be like the lowest part of this core.
Yeah, the meat of this core is gonna be at the end. Yeah, with all the fights and some of the lore stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little I feel a little teased about certain aspects of this because we literally like they dropped this big thing about Ichigo meeting the Soul King and doing all this other stuff that's not in the manga. Um, but I'm confused now that like it was relegated to a post credit scene.
Well, I mean, it's literally the vessel. It's not him meeting the thing. It's vessel training.
No, no, no,
It's literally, yeah.
no, no, I agree. I get it, but I'm saying like I thought this would be, its own like contained thing. I'm like breaking it down over multiple episodes just kind of feels weird.
Yeah, it seems a little bit weird for that, but it's just like, what else are they gonna do?
Basically, it just feels like a big bait sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
If
I mean, it
just
is.
bluntly, yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna watch the
The
next
fight
episode.
scenes,
Mm-hmm. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, the fight scenes as well. I mean, I have to be honest. I feel like the only good fight scene was when Soifon first met BG9. Other than that, Toshiro versus Bazb, I feel like they could have done much more. Obviously, I understand like they're saving for like the bigger fights, like Kenpachi versus Grammy, but I feel like they definitely could have done better there. To be honest.
Agreed. I definitely agree.
Yeah,
I won't like
this fight was always gonna be sacrificed. That's the thing.
see. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if it necessarily needed to be sacrificed though, because like I. It's not so much that like the animation has to be great and it has to be. I just a slight extension or dropping the shrift for a certain character. Like I
Um,
feel like something like
I
that definitely is present because I'm like it's not going to be the next episode.
I understand that, but there's gonna be a lot of fans that are gonna be upset by the movie like quality thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that yeah people are gonna because they're gonna feel lied to. But like personally, I just want to like I just wanted something added here. I was saying like I got through the first half of the episode when we got to the key card scene. I literally just kind of looked and I was like, wait, I'm already halfway through the episode. Nothing's happened.
Oh, really? Yeah, because
It
I did the complete opposite.
What had you so on the edge of your seat in the first half?
I just enjoyed watching the episode, and I just forgot the time essentially.
Uh, yeah, I know it felt like it went really fast for me and nothing happened. It maybe
I
also
I
be a.
will say it felt like it really was fast, but like that's the thing. Like at the end of it, I was like, holy shit! 20 minutes passed already.
Mhm.
Or maybe I'm just like a fighter brain type, essentially.
Yeah, it also just also might be I don't know like I don't know how many times you've reread the opening of the Thousand Year Blood War, but like I don't know. I guess it's just kind of like
Too many,
I can
too
recite
many.
the lines, yeah, and it's like
I wouldn't say I'm reciting lines, but if someone quizzed me on something, or if someone has like an interpretation up on the panel, I would definitely be able to pick through it pretty quickly if it was a bad or a good. interpretation of like the thing.
Yeah. Well, since you talked about it, we might as well talk about it now. The scaling might have also changed again for this episode, depending on how you look at certain aspects of it. I think we can kind of comfortably say like BG9 is a fucking boss right now. Like the man's a unit.
Yeah.
Mm, no, the thing is I think I'm pretty sure at this point it's pretty much an off guard feat.
I don't know, bro. He stabbed her and then like she didn't even notice he was there. Like he
The
that's
thing is
pretty
she was
bad.
looking in the wrong direction. That's kind of the problem with it.
Yeah, because I think he blitzed her, isn't it? Like he moved
Yeah,
so fast
essentially.
that she couldn't.
But the
That's
thing
pretty
is like
insane.
the way he approached her was from like a position she just wasn't looking. So like people will use the blitz to say that BG9 is over her, but the problem is he just doesn't scale to her because he just isn't looking at him.
I mean,
Or like he
Essentially.
moved. Sorry, go on.
no, so he ate her Shunko like full on. She didn't even damage him.
Oh yeah, that part. Yeah. I always argue that BG9's durability was extremely high.
Oh, I mean, he'd have to be using blue, so he would definitely scale above her. At that point,
Mm.
Yeah, and also he's a robot, and then we
yeah,
don't know what his components are or anything like that.
yeah. I mean, we can't speculate that his components are just like naturally enhancing his defense, though.
Well, I mean, like the thing is, if he's a robot, if he's just made out of steel or iron or something like that, then like like that's just normal.
What the heck? Yeah,
That's like a
the
normal robot construct. But obviously, I wouldn't even begin going, oh, he's steel or he's iron or he's made out of uranium depleted steel or something like that.
yeah. No matter
I wouldn't
what,
go that far, but like,
mm,
yeah.
I mean, even so, like no matter what, he just like he does dog her like rather easily, and
Oh yeah,
even with the
that
off
part,
guard,
yeah.
even with the off guard feat, like it's just he like literally catches her and then just blows her out of the sky, and everyone's basically like, yeah, she's done.
Yeah. She got
Yeah,
done in from that. But the thing is, she still has like amazing feats on him. Like, oh yeah, where essentially, I'd say it's a bit of a trade of feats.
well, I mean that was definitely off
Mm.
guard, like her catching the bullets and then ripping the gun off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's funny because he was actually shooting the bullets at Wida, so technically Soifon was just standing in front of him catching the bullets, which is funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did notice that as well, to be honest.
It was like running for like at least 5, maybe 10 seconds of the actual gun firing.
Yeah, and then Soifun came after. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
it's pretty interesting.
it's definitely an impressive feat. Like I really did like that. It's but that's the thing. Like this is the most entertaining thing. Like when going back to like the Basby Toshiro stuff. Like I'm
That
glad.
fight,
Yeah, I'm glad the vacuum ice stuff was there and the ice weaving and then like that like ice trap. Mine he said like that's all in there. It's all great and good, but just I don't know. It felt hollow.
the
Pun
fight
intended.
felt slow. It
It
didn't feel.
does.
The fight felt slow to me.
That's
Yeah.
why I really like the Yamamoto thing because it really showed why Basby was like above Toshiro because like it really emphasizes why he's so much stronger.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I don't know. I'm trying to say like I'm trying to figure out how to say this without being so mean. Just like I know we're supposed to feel hopeless at this point, but just showing Toshiro and Soifone getting dogged like that doesn't drive home
Yeah, most of the
the
fans don't
hopelessness.
care about them. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just that's just the way it is. Actually, Toshiro they care about, but like Silifon, they won't care.
Yeah, she's not a fan favorite character. Neither is Omaida.
Yeah,
So that's why I felt like the whole family thing being cut was weird because I'm like, it's the one relevant thing about the character that you get. So I don't know.
and they did say he was gonna get a new scene as well, right, or something like
That's what we heard, but that might be the new scene.
Yeah, it
that.
doesn't. I think the people was not sort of incorrect when they were saying new scenes because like the new scene with Fukutake, nah.
from what it seems, Okataka is just going to be outside the Serete until he's ready to come back in. It seems.
Essentially, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they're gonna show us how he gets in, cause like I don't know. It's not necessarily like nothing says that no one can just walk into this Arete, but he's got to open the gate and then walk through the shadow. Like if he walks through the shadow, will it work?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
I
guess it
wonder.
was kind of argument from ignorance from me, but like I always assumed that like they took control of the Shankai Moon or whatever. Or, like they have some degree of control over at this point because
The
of like the red, you know,
the
what
Shakun
they do
Maku or
there.
the Seki wall.
The barrier, just a barrier. Yeah, just a barrier.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It seemed to it literally rolled up with the barrier, so I wonder if it actually can't go past. I mean, it's made of reishi, so it shouldn't be able to go past the Shakun Maku.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, obviously Kentucky gets in somehow. I guess
Yeah.
his reishi density just pushes it through all of the Mimihage thing.
Yeah, the Mimihagi blasting through it makes sense. Like that's like transcendent ratio. Like we see it later with the Black Retsu falling down on the Serite, but it just seems to just completely reject that concept completely. There's like, what barrier are you talking about? Which is interesting because then that kind of does make it the Gremmy thing later make a bit more sense. But yeah, overall this episode is just like there isn't much to talk about because even the key cards are boring. Like it says Vondenreich, and you're just like, okay, yeah, we
Well, the
know
only
about the
interesting one
Vondenreich.
was the Shinko one.
I haven't translated it. Does it say anything interesting?
Oh, I haven't seen it yet,
Oh,
the translation for it, but I think the only one that will be interesting will be that one.
yeah, the
Unless it just
Vondenreich
talks
one.
about Shunker being like developed.
Yeah, the Vondenreich one was just kind of it was uh it just reiterates information that we already have, like how the Garganta and Hueco Mundo one did.
Yeah, I don't understand why they had that.
Oh, I get to get up on my high horse. I just remembered. Red background is trash. I don't care what anyone says. It's trash. Like the I don't understand how the inside is so red, but the outside of the barrier is so fucking cool. Like somebody explain to me why that is. I don't understand.
It's probably because it has like that translucent effect from the outside, and on the inside it's like a matte.
It's so bad. Like
No, but it doesn't make sense because like you see clouds or something like that on the outside, but then the inside is just bland. I was expecting them to add a bit more textures, like still stay red, but I don't know.
yeah, no, I agree. I 1000% agree.
It's, I wasn't expecting this. I feel I don't know, man. It just I was expecting more, but
Yeah, it's such an important day. So like Soul Resonance dropped their trailer for the video game. It's Ichigo's
yeah,
birthday. Like if there was an episode like if there was a day to drop an episode that just slammed, it was today.
yeah,
My plans got
man.
canceled. I wasn't even supposed to stream
Problem
today.
is,
Like
this episode is just it just wasn't it just wasn't in.
uh I will say though that BG9 scene, so we saw part of it in the trailer, but in the
Yeah.
episode it's far better. Like I actually like I was ear to ear smiling when all of that
When
entire sequence was going on.
he scared Soifun.
Yeah, after Soifun hit him with the Shunko and he like
Yeah,
ripped off his clothes and just all those missiles and the animation was so perfect, the explosions, the light was so good. Um
yeah,
yeah, it was great, man.
yeah. I think to be honest, BG9 basically carried the episode.
Mhm.
If we're being realistic here,
Mhm.
he carried the episode. Other than that,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, the
it
scenes
was
with Shunsui and Yugrim, they were all right, I guess.
Yeah.
Askin and Mayuri, it was all right. It's not really anything fantastic going on over there. But BG9 definitely.
yeah. Most of it
Yeah,
was just filler. It was essentially just that Soifon versus BB9 bit. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
We've already got people on Twitter complaining.
oh yeah, I'm not
So
shocked. Twitter's gonna complain no matter what.
it's bound to happen. Yeah.
I think the other problem is they are adapting Can't Fear Your World. I don't think that's been confirmed. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like there's nothing wrong with the episode necessarily, but at the same time, there's nothing like we just said, aside from like the BG9 stuff, like there isn't anything that's like praiseworthy. Um,
Yeah.
Basby looks great. His burner, I'm glad they left in the burner finger chevrons when he uses his
Yeah.
ability in his outfit. I'm glad they kept that in from the manga. Um, Otherwise, there's nothing really to write home about the episode.
I agree 100%.
Well,
Oh,
yeah. I like the effects of the burner finger, like the three little symbols on the finger when he does it, like vents, essentially.
mm-hmm. Another thing, Red Sky. God, I swear, if Bambi's Volstandig is just washed out because of the red sky, I'm gonna be so mad, bro. Like it looking ahead to other things, I already complained about this before, but like looking ahead to other fights, it's not looking good.
It's not looking good. It's not.
Yeah.
Especially the Rukia's banker. I mean, it should look good, but then with what we're seeing right now, it's not really looking good.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I swear if like the background changes, because I think from the trailer there's a scene where like Bambi is fighting and the background's purple. I'm gonna be mad because I'm like, so then what's the point of the red canvas? Like, if you're just gonna change it for atmospheric whenever you want, why is the background red? It honestly seems, you know what it seems like, and I really hate to say this, it seems like a way to save money.
Well, yeah, it is.
But I mean, it's blatantly
so you don't
bad
have
though.
animate cards.
Hmm?
Sorry?
What'd you say?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, yeah, it's, I don't know. I'm not, the red background, it cuts out the impact of the blood scenes like I thought it was going to. Um, it, I don't know. And then the end credit scene itself was kind of like, it's not bad. It's cool seeing Ichigo basically go through the same training we just saw Rukia and Renji go through, just in a more extreme way.
Well, it's yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and he's doing the whole like Sukuna prepping Ichigo's body for a certain thing that, for anime onlys, I don't want to spoil for what Ichibe is prepping Ichigo for. uh, don't trust the
I am
bald
interested
monk.
in the poem bit though.
The what?
The poem bit. Well, what Ichibe was saying. Do you know what the? I don't know. What was the word he said?
Oh,
I tried searching it up, but
Ichiro
is it
Sanku.
Irazo Sando or something like that? Irazo Sando.
Sounds like it translates to like unneeded bread or sandwich.
Oh, I've tried searching it up. I'm not really a good translator, so don't take me on this. But it doesn't even come up on Google, so they might be introducing something new with that one. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sando means sandwich. It might be completely different. It might be a completely different kanji for something else like Kubo made up because Kubo's good at doing that. Uh, um, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It makes sense though because like if it is something about like because with what I saw for the translation that I got, um, if it is unneeded bread or sandwich or dough or something like that, it might
Yeah,
like because the poem is talking about a vessel filling up and like if the vessel isn't proper it'll break and spill over, but if it's proper
yeah,
it'll survive, which makes sense. Like an unfinished sandwich, like if you're properly making the sandwich it's going to come out fine. If you don't, then it's going to fall apart. So
yeah,
I'm not sure what Ichibe's I know what Ichibe's doing, I just don't know how the poem really fits in. It might be its own, I don't know, it might be Ichigo's version of Yuhaba's 900 um poem. We'll see. I think of all the problems with the episode, I think it honestly does feel a bit disjointed. Like I was saying, like they kind of broke that up. I wish that was just in its own episode. Like I wish the Soul
mm,
King Ichigo stuff was all in its own like episode or just one half of an episode. Kind of breaking it
yeah,
over multiple episodes is just kind of eh.
Um, I think it'll be pretty boring if it was just an episode focused on Ichigo just walking down like a that kind of Rocky thing with it nice serene like that. If it was just like a full episode focused on that.
I mean, I think. Well, I'm talking about like the entire thing. What we're gonna get between like the flashes, him potentially maybe having a spiritual pressure conversation with the Soul King, like we saw with Aizen and Yuhaba. Um, you
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah. It's just like there's a lot of that stuff where he's just walking down that rocky road.
I mean, honestly, if you take out the opening sequence, like the scene with Jugram at the in front of the Vandenreich,
Yeah,
you could put that at the start of the episode.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
that's what I was thinking as well. Just cut out that whole first sequence because that didn't really do anything for the episode. And then
It did. It kind of like focused what they really were interested in. But
yeah,
like,
well, we kind of
You kind of
already
got
knew
it.
that. Though.
Yeah.
Like we already understood. We already knew that.
Actually,
I don't think
Jugram.
I don't think it done anything.
Sorry, go ahead, Dupe.
no, it really goes to show like because like they were just like, oh, let's just leave them for the soldiers, and then Jukin was like, 100% no, we need to break them
Yeah,
because like there's what's more breaking than like being destroyed by foot soldiers. Like that is pretty traumatizing.
well, I'm saying so. Like, if you cut out the entire sequence, we don't even get that line of "let the soldat take care of it." But Jugram does reiterate their purpose when he goes to see Shinsui. He literally says, "Like, that's why I came here first to crush you." Like, that's what Shinsui asked him. Like, "Oh, you made your way here first of all people. Like, you know, I'm the head captain, so that's why you're here." And Jugram just basically confirms that. So, like, that scene becomes kind of redundant, and then although they cut the line from Kangdu, you could have put back in the line where Kangdu says it was an order by His Majesty that we all kill the people whose Bankai we stole. That's literally like a 3 second line that they cut and put in the opening sequence. I
And then
just,
they made 1 minute.
hmm
I've seen a lot of people be like argue that like because a clip's only like 5 seconds that they will completely miss it. I've seen it argued both ways.
I mean, I guess, but like, again, that's more of like, it's on the watcher's fault for not seeing it. Like, if we're gonna have to reorganize every episode so that the entire series explained to people, I kind of don't want that because that's kind of been the criticism of Bleach. Like, people are like, it's hard to follow, and all these concepts, all these names, all this stuff I have to remember, and I'm like, that's any fantasy series, like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, like any series I'm into, whether it's DC Comics or anything. You have to remember these important things because they end up being important. Like, in the comics, if you like, for just Marvel, for example, one of the biggest gripes people had with the Infinity Stones are only supposed to work in their universe. That is how they were made, in the original comic. So if characters start using it willy nilly in different universes, even if it's in the quote unquote same timeline, it's still an issue. But like, people are like, oh well, you don't remember that, so it doesn't matter. And I'm like, it kind of does matter because it creates a plot hole. So like, if
Yeah.
people want stuff spoon fed to them in the episodes, like, I'm sorry, go watch something else.
I mean, maybe, but like a popular criticism is that Cuba just doesn't explain enough, and that's like kind of point of the Cuba itself thing to ask him questions that he didn't explain well enough.
Oh no, Kubo definitely has a problem of like not explaining things, but I don't think, hey, His Majesty told us to kill the people whose Bankai we stole is as important as how do souls work in the series, like, or soul ages. Like, those things I don't believe are just kind of like equivalent.
Well, yeah, definitely, but like that's kind of like the things like every part kind of like needs a shine. Like if everything just focused on that little aspect, then like it'd be pretty boring.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. It's the way the episode is organized. I think it could have been organized better. I definitely want to look up who directed this episode because it feels off.
Different. It feels different.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then even comparing it to Core One, like I said, it's not fair to compare episode one of Core One to episode one of Core Two, but it's fair now to compare episode two and episode one of Core Two to every other episode because, like, I'd rather go watch, and you guys know how much I hate episode 3 of Core 1. I made an entire separate video from my review talking about how much I hate that episode. But I, I would rather go watch episode 3 than this one.
Well, yeah, the thing is like this episode was always going to be like this always was going to be the lowest low of the like PYBW. It always was.
Oh, I can think of episodes I'm gonna really hate later in
Really?
Core 3.
Oh yeah, I understand why, but that might be because of who you prefer.
I honestly, I think that entire section is boring in the manga. Like, there's a lot of non-fights happening, a lot of off-screen fights. Like, I can make an entire video about off-screen fights that should have been on screen. Precisely one that has to do with a certain character who wields pink petals as his fucking Bankai, where he trashes a bunch of other characters. Like, I really wish
I
that was
understand.
on screen.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like there's a lot of things I kind of want, but like it's, I think regardless of what happens, the next one should be better than this one because this one's always gonna be like lower tier because Soifon's in it essentially.
I just feel so bad for Soifun. I love Soifun. For her to get this treatment is just, it's kind of messed up.
It's kind of always gonna happen.
The what was it? This next episode, I swear, if because I don't want to spoil it, but if you want to hear it, just click off. If Hollow Toshiro does not look fire as hell, I'm going to be so mad. Like,
Yeah.
there better be like some hollow ice technique that he can only use as a hollow ice. I swear, man, if it's just literally Ice Dragon in the background and he freezes Kangdu, I'm gonna be so upset.
It's gonna look
Nah,
exactly what it's gonna look like in the screenshot. There's nothing gonna be different.
Oh, it's so
I don't think
disappointing.
he's gonna use a hollow technique, man. I don't think
Uh,
so.
I know he's not gonna use a
It's
hollow technique, but I just like, I want something to be different, like tangibly different aside from his look.
like
Oh
more
yeah, definitely.
ferocious.
But like,
What does I do?
Like more like ferocious. Like you can tell there's more power in his attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah, like like if he's gonna use like ice dragons to fight King Do for a split second or something like that. Like, I want it to look, I want the ice dragons to look, like you said, like more ferocious, or just, I want it to be tangibly different. Because the only thing that's different is like, one, the look of the Bankai, but then it's probably the only time we ever actually see like Hyorin Maru in its full form, aside from one other time, which is in a negative
Yeah.
chapter, so it doesn't count. But the like, he actually kind of does look like a hollow dragon. Like, he's got like the shortened snout face. He actually has like limbs, as opposed to like Maru in the negative chapter looks more like a wyvern than a dragon, or a worm even, because it doesn't even have any legs. So yeah,
Oh, we can only pray, I guess.
at this point, right? Just hope the rail is listening. But yeah, overall, I guess the episodes I guess, what would you give it if it's mid?
Mid definitely is an average episode. Average.
Yeah, I think. Hmm.
I hope it's the weakest episode that we're gonna get in this call.
Agreed.
'Cause
problem is, I still think it's like better than the previous one. Like even then, I'll just give it like a 7 out of 5, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I can't, because just like, even though there were no fights in the first episode, that like the Yuha sequence, the Uryu sequence, there's just like, they did so much with just storytelling in the first episode that I can't put episode 2 over it. But I definitely see why. Like, episode 2 definitely is working with more than episode 1 did. Um, but yeah, I just, it's like a 6. I gotta rate it lower than I did last episode. It's like a 6
Oh
out of
yeah,
10.
I'm stuck in the same boat as well. Like I'm thinking about dropping the episode like a little bit lower, but that's only because of like content. Like,
Yeah.
I legitimately forgot time in this episode, and I remembered the time in the previous episode. Like I was generally was like checking how much time we had left.
Yeah, I think part of the reason I was doing that in episode 1, I agree, is because like I think I was expecting Soul King stuff. And when we kind of did get it, I was like, okay, how much time do we get? Like, how much stuff am I getting? And then we didn't get much, or really anything. And then I expected it here in this episode. Maybe that's another reason I think I don't like the episode. I didn't think about that. Is it kind of also felt like a letdown because I thought I was getting extra content for the fights and Soul King stuff,
Yeah,
which may have been a unfair expectation, I guess.
no, problem is it's being falsely advertised essentially. I wouldn't say it's an unfair expectation.
Yeah, because I'm just sitting here like I don't. I don't understand like why they're holding so tightly on the Soul King stuff. Like the moment Ichigo has done with it, he's gonna go right back down to fight, and that end of itself is gonna take time. So I don't see why they're taking their time with this.
They really should have cut out the walking bits and really put into like get into the better bits of that training section, or not have it at all.
Yeah, like the poem I guess is nice because like you said, it implies that what Ichibei is trying to do to Ichigo. But at the same time, I'm like, you could have done that in a completely different way. We kind of already got
Yeah,
that with Shunsui in the last episode being like, I really wonder if what he's doing is good for this Arete. Because it just implies that Ichibei has ulterior motives.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely say this episode's more of a 6 out of 10, with that last episode being like a 7 out of 10. It's not a great start to Core 2, but as you guys said, like, I think this is probably going to be the weakest episode of the Core, especially with like the stuff that's coming later. I'm so excited for Grammy. Grammy's I think hopefully gonna save the Core.
I'll say look forward to Rukia and Asnot because the production on that's going to be big.
So I said this the last time after episode 3 in Core 1. Is there a point that we're going to not accept mediocrity or like I guess just not adding stuff? Because that did happen quite a bit in Core 1. Like we did get a lot of content at the end of Core 1, or I guess the middle end is when we got the extra stuff. But
Yeah.
like everything but the rain was like an episode and it was literally just shot for shot the manga. So I'm like,
I
okay,
say
uh-huh.
I say after the next episode and maybe fourth, like I might extend it a little bit to the fourth, but after the fourth, I will be ruthless.
Like if Rukia, like let's just say for example, Rukia Asnot is just shot for shot the manga. Are we okay with that?
Never really liked that part of the fight anyway, so like I wouldn't be happy with it.
Because I mean, like that was ranked the most popular fight in Japan of the Thousand Year Blood War. So I'm like,
Rukia versus Asna.
yeah,
It wasn't
I'd be
Grammy
more
versus
interested in
Confirmed.
the cutscene.
yeah,
The little intro thing, I'm more entertained by that intro bit than the actual fight.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There was a
I
poll
see that.
done in 2020, I believe it was, where I don't remember if it was Viz or Bleach on Twitter. Oh, it was leading. It was the Thousand Year Blood War website that they
Yeah.
dropped for Core 1. They did a poll leading up to the release of the season, ranking the fights, and Rukia versus Asnot was voted number 1. Which is crazy to me when, Yuha versus
Crazy.
Ichigo exists.
That's crazy. That's a bit. But
Or, a certain Sosuke Aizing pulling off one of the coolest, like, I love all of his Kyoka Suigetsu stuff, but the Kyoka Suigetsu shenanigans he pulls off at the end of this series, I think is his
same,
best, like by a mile.
definitely.
Um, I think yeah, I think I think that's a good line to draw. If Rukia Asna is just shot for shot the manga, I think it's time to talk about a new director for the series.
The problem is like also like I'm looking at it and I'm starting to realize that only like minor changes are gonna happen.
Hmm.
It's At most, it's going to be like a little bit minor, but like nothing major is going to be changed.
I'm just expecting it to be extended.
Yep.
I'm just gonna. That's about it. A bit more sword play, and that's what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Maybe if Ruka could use like her old abilities that she showed before, but like a more advanced versions of them, maybe. But
That's a fantastic point because in that fight, she doesn't use any of them
she doesn't use any of them.
because because her Shikai, she gets her Shikai completely unlocked. So
Yeah,
her like self is, I guess you could argue her body techniques are stronger than everything she had before, but I feel like if her body techniques plus those other things, I feel like that just makes them far more deadly.
yeah.
Because like if she uses Hakuden combined with that last attack she uses on Asna and Shikai,
As not. That's well. It definitely won't be game over, but
yeah.
it'd be much more cooler. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think no. You know what? I don't want to make that my thing. I think I'll wait for Grammy Kenny because I have this really weird feeling. I think I said this in the trailer video. I have this very weird feeling about Grammy versus Kenny. I'm really worried about that
What
fight.
you feel like it's gonna be bad?
Yeah. The fight is
Red Sky.
so grandiose. The red sky hurts it, and I talked about that with the whole meteor thing. But the other thing is that the fight is very grand. A lot of Grammy's abilities are big. Like
Yeah,
literally, it's everything Grammy does is on a scale like way bigger than his average
as
attack is like comparatively 50 times the size of another character's attack. So it's like what is
I'm
like
curious how they're going to handle that 8 something Grammy
I
thing.
think it's going to be CGI like crazy, bro. Which I don't think it needs to be that.
the meteors maybe,
Oh, the music,
but
oh for
even then,
sure. Yeah.
the meteors like I think that's already a foregone conclusion. But
Mhm.
the lava, the water, maybe.
The guns, the missiles, the platform, the hands, like he literally like I say like everything is on a massive scale when he fights. Um and then the other thing was I'm also worried about the size of the meteor. Like the meteor in the manga is massive. It's so big.
Yeah. What you think they're gonna make it smaller?
I swear I'm telling you man, if the meteor is small, I'm gonna lose it.
I think, no, I think they should make it smaller.
Why?
No way.
I've
No
been
way.
looking at some things and I'm just like looking at how powerful like meteors are. Like people are even scared of like way smaller meteors than that ever was. Like that
Yeah,
one
that's
probably
why.
just smashes through the planet.
Yeah, no,
That's
no.
why it's amazing.
Yeah, that's why it's
That's why.
amazing.
I know, but the thing is like it's not terrifying because it can smash through the whole planet. It's terrifying because it can just wipe out the whole Serite.
Well, asteroid that's only a mile long would absolutely wreck the Serete. An asteroid half a mile long would also still wreck the Serete. But the
Yeah, that's
fact
what I
that the
mean. That's what I mean.
but the fact that the thing itself is literally the size of the Serete means that like everything, the entire planet's gone.
Yeah. It's just like that's the kind of the thing is like it brings it up. Like, what the hell are you doing with that?
Grammy
I guess the
got
thing
mad.
with Grammy is that. Yeah, I guess the thing with Grammy is that because he doesn't really know how to fight, he thinks like bigger means better.
Better, yeah.
So
See, that makes
my
me
head
wonder.
canon,
Mm-hmm.
sorry,
No, go ahead,
yeah,
Max.
my head canon is that there's actually more than one meteor, and we actually see like a few more in the background.
Ooh, could you imagine they make that feat worse than it already is?
Yeah, that would I would be very happy. Let's just say that.
uh,
I think a lot of certain Naruto fans will be a little bit upset if he did.
oh.
Uh,
Hey, my goodness. Uh, it's already like pretty bad if they amplify the size of the meter. I just don't want the meter to be smaller. That's all I care about. Like they can do multiple meters, they can do bigger meters. As long as it's at least the size that it is in the manga, I'm fine. Um, which just kind of puts everything in a like a scarier kind of um perception when you think about Gerard Valkyrie.
Yeah, because he's like the same size as the meteor or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gerard just
Yeah,
like, and then he starts easily like swapping with that same Kenpachi, and I'm just like, so you're telling me Gerard in that form could just jump into the sky and repeat that same feat? That's insane.
yeah. You could probably like carry the meteor or something like that.
He probably could, but yeah, it's. I see. Look, we're see. This is my point. We're already gushing about like the second half of the core, because it's like
Yeah,
that's where it really is. All the good stuff is at.
Yeah. I guess the problem is kind of is you coming off like a bad episode, so it's like it is right to be worried, but like maybe see after next week and maybe think about all the rest of the episodes and the rest of the core.
Yeah, it's. I definitely want to I want to give it a chance, but I swear, man, there are certain characters that really like we know Shuhei. We like I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a bit of Shuhei versus Mask from how the trailer shows, but I'm like, if the sole extension we're getting is just like those scenes, like if the only extension of Mask versus Shuhei, Ikaku, and Yumichika is just that shot from the trailer, I'm gonna be so mad because as you said, like that's a massive bait and switch. Like that is,
Yeah.
I would feel so cheap,
are you
But the
expecting him to
same
use
thing
his
happened in
bankai?
this.
huh?
Keep going.
Are you expecting him to use his bankai in the fight or something?
No, no, no. What I would like, so personally, what I would like to play out is they show Mask jumping them like he does in the manga, but then with them three overwhelming him, I think would be fine, and we think he's dead, and then we cut away,
Yeah,
and then we cut back, and it's how it is when Kensei and them show up, like they got dogged, and that's the scary part.
yeah,
It's like, wait, the last time we saw them, they were easily defeating Mask. What happened? It's just that kind of
yeah,
like simple, you know, film work that I think goes a long way.
yeah.
But yeah, anything else to add about the episode?
I don't really have anything to say, to be honest. I mean, I've said everything I need to say.
Yeah, because I want to get back to I'm gonna go play some For Honor and chill out the rest of the day after that episode because that was my plans. My plans were canceled and that's what I got. So I'm not particularly happy today.
I don't think much is gonna change too much. I don't think there's gonna be much of an extensions. It's just gonna be like little bits here and there.
Yeah. Also, they my theory about the Bankai medallions didn't get confirmed this episode, so I guess I'm a little salty about that too. Um,
Well, yeah. I mean, they kind of just like only started talking about the Bonkai towards the end.
yeah, and then sorry, excuse me. Then the Uryu being confirmed being the successor of of being the actual heir of Yuhaba doesn't get confirmed in this episode either. So all my Thousand Year Blood War theories are kind of still on ice right now, and I'm a little eh about it. I wonder how many other people came to the conclusion that Uryu was the heir to Yuhaba.
Well, to be honest, if a lot of the other YouTubers are saying it, then probably yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's the episode, guys. Appreciate you guys, Dupe, Candace, for being here. Um,
Mhm.
it was fun. I'm gonna go play some For Honor and have a good rest of the day. You guys do the same.
You too, man.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.